Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of them together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is Class 9 TDS. The Democrats have lost their collective minds. A representative from North Carolina just went up to the lectern on the House floor and openly suggested establishing a shadow government to resist the will of the people because it's got the words Trump behind it. This is insane. And the big reason for doing it and the big support is that the British do it. Okay. Well, guys, roll up your sleeves. We're about to dive into some crazy. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Send this to everyone you know. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to spread some freedom from one side of the country to the other. And thank you in advance for that consideration. Now, guys, as we rev this up and get everything set up for you, make sure you do not miss out on the opportunity to get your 10% discount on all the limited time designs through our website, secondpress.co. These are all the designs you can only get for 1 week during the year that we've opened up for the month of November. This is for holiday gift giving season. This is our Black November kind of Black Friday vibe for you guys. 10% off with the code 45-47, and if you get more than $50 on the order, you get free shipping on the entire order. It's meant to help you guys out, meant to get that gift for someone you can't quite find the gift for and make them look great while they do it. Freedom only lasts if you can defend it. Kamikaze Kamala, that's a good one. Nobody likes a Glock block. And finally, the Tree of Liberty versus the Tree of Tyranny. These designs went really well during the year, and we've opened them up again for 10% off for you guys. Link in the description box below, code 45-47, and thank you to all of you who jumped on that to support the channel. All right, everybody, listen. Every once in a while, you get TDS, which is Trump Derangement Syndrome, and then you just get straight up tyranny crazy. This representative, the Democrat representative, Wiley Nickel, he's so proud of what I'm about to show you that he puts it out on his own X account as this big illuminated vision of what to do. I'm going to show you what he put out, and then I'm going to show you the stuff that he didn't, the rest of the speech. This is crazy. Make sure you send this out to highlight the fight that we are in for our rights. Let's get it.
Last week stung. As Democrats, we simply failed to convince the American people we have better ideas to solve their problems.
Maybe because you don't.
But we do. Now we need to dust ourselves off and get ready to fight. We can't let Donald Trump's extreme MAGA agenda go unanswered or unopposed.
Ooh.
Zone defense isn't going to work. We're going to have to go man on man. So here's an idea for how to organize our opposition. We need to borrow from our British friends and appoint a shadow cabinet to fight back against the worst abuses of a second Trump administration.
This is on the House floor. That is the lectern of the House. He even has a visual that says shadow cabinet. You cannot make this stuff up. And we're the extreme ones. You and I watching this video, we're the crazies. Because we don't want the government to overstep and infringe upon our rights. We're insane. But don't worry, guys. It's not like they went on the House floor with printed out visuals that say form a shadow cabinet. Except that. Okay, let's continue.
The special relationship between the United States and Britain extends not just to our strength on the global stage, but also to our shared commitment to democracy.
Oh.
Across the Atlantic, the British have something we don't. A team from the opposition that mirrors the government's own cabinet members. They watch the cabinet closely, publicly challenging, scrutinizing, and offering new ideas. It's another form of checks and balances, a quiet guardrail that holds those in power accountable.
Okay, so borrowing from the British and holding those in power accountable, completely negating the idea that the people are in power because they were voted into power by the population of a representative government of which you're supposed to represent. But don't worry, you've got a big plan that you're going to have a shadow attorney general and a shadow secretary of defense. They want to have a mirror image of all the positions in the cabinet, so to provide accountability and really bring better ideas forward. Yeah, that's called a presidential campaign. You just got stuffed. But don't worry, guys. Now is the time to establish a shadow cabinet. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, let's continue.
With a shadow cabinet, there's no hiding. Each decision by the government faces a ready counterpoint, not just from the media and voters, but also from political leaders poised to step in. Shadow cabinet members can also become the clear point people for advocacy and grassroots organizers, making it easier to unify and amplify the solutions that those in power are ignoring. It's democracy's insurance policy, and it strengthens the government too. There's no room for lazy ideas when rivals stand ready to step in.
So this is actually how they're trying to sell this. Okay, so now that's what he put forward. That's the idea. These lofty goals of amazing support of the government, a nice little shadow cabinet, which is going to provide alternative ideas. Yeah, okay. Let's go over to the rest of that speech because he didn't post this one. That's weird. Look, same guy, shadow cabinet. But listen to what he's going to do here. This is the big idea from the TDS deranged Democrat Wiley Nickel Wiley. Hold on. Yeah, Wiley Nickel from North Carolina. You guys should be proud. All right, here we go.
If Trump attempts to weaponize the justice system against his political opponents with Matt Gaetz at the helm, we could see incoming Senator Adam Schiff as our shadow attorney general, arguing against replacing our independent prosecutors with Trump loyalists. If Trump seeks to eliminate the Department of Education, Congresswoman Johanna Hayes, a former Teacher of the Year, could step up as shadow education secretary to loudly defend public education in the United States.
Okay, just real quick. Does this guy live in a world where he thinks the media doesn't amplify every single thing the Democrats say? I mean, literally, you need an official shadow attorney general in Adam Schiff. You need a new congresswoman to be a shadow secretary of education. The Democrat, all they have to do is pick up a phone and they get on the media and the entire news cycle on Sunday morning circuit every single weekend. We cover all of them. These people, they are deranged. But anyway, let's continue. We got more positions to be filled in the shadow cabinet.
If Trump orders Marco Rubio to hand Ukraine and much of Eastern Europe to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Congressman Greg Meeks, as Shadow Secretary of State, could be a strong voice in support of maintaining international relationships and protecting democracy at home and abroad. Senator Michael Bennet as Shadow Treasury Secretary, and Congresswoman Susan DelBene as Shadow Commerce Secretary could help ensure the middle class and small businesses have a voice in government and call out Trump's proposed tax cuts for billionaires and corporations.
All right, so I gotta hit this point. Guys, we cover things that are a little bit deeper on this channel for this very reason. Okay, this is one of those examples. You notice he's saying that you have to have a secretary position and you have to have a figurehead in order to represent the will of the people. That's a very important piece that you have to understand what he's saying. He's basically discounting the entire representation element of our government. That's why we all have Congress people. That's why we have senators. That's why we have all the institutions in place and a vote every 2 years to change those things. Senators every 6, House of Reps every 2, presidential general every 4. But this guy is conflating the idea that representation is only done through centralized figureheads, like shadow government employees, shadow cabinet, right here. This is also why they infringe upon our gun rights consistently with the ATF director and the attorney general, because they don't have the idea that a representative democracy or a representative republic is going to be able to actually, what's the best way to say this? Resonate with the needs of the people. No, it's the figureheads. It's centralized power and individuals. They are literally talking about tyrants in individual positions of power because the representative government just isn't working. You got to have centralized people. That's a key point to understand in all of this crap. That's the underlying message behind this shadow cabinet. But anyway, let's continue.
As Shadow Defense Secretary, Congressman Adam Smith, a great representative for the people of Washington and not a Fox News host, could counter Trump's threat to use military force against his political opponents and work to ensure that the Department of Defense stays loyal to the Constitution and not some wannabe dictator. And Senator Tammy Duckworth could argue against cuts to the Department of Veterans Affairs that would delay the benefits and care our service members have so rightly earned. If Trump hands over the EPA to big oil ally Lee Zeldin, we could see Congresswoman Kathy Castor pushing back for environmental protection and conservation to protect the air we breathe and the water we drink. And if Trump pushes to ban abortion nationwide, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro could step in as Shadow Secretary of Health and Human Services to defend women's right to choose and argue against the gutting of Medicare by Trump and his cronies. Mr. Speaker, new times require new solutions. The shadow cabinet isn't just about opposing extreme MAGA attacks on our government. It's also about making clear what we stand for, not just what we're against.
Yeah, that'll cover that when we get big here. So, in summation, just to wrap up. All of a sudden, not when Biden was in power, not when Kamala Harris was in power, not when Attorney General Merrick Garland was in power, not when ATF Director Stephen Dettelbach was in power. Nope, shadow government was not the way to go because we had a ballot box. We had a representative government. It was a piece of cake. Just wait your turn. Your ideas clearly sucked. However, when a landslide comes in, Trump wins, the entire House and the entire Senate flip to Trump, everything goes red to the Republicans. All of a sudden, now it's time for a shadow government, which is going to have no real power, but it's going to amplify the voices, even though the representative government is intended to amplify those voices through your power of your vote. But now it's time for a secretary of position in opposition on figureheads of all of them. Guys, you're watching TDS eat the brains. The brains are gone because now what you're talking about is an executive bureaucratic state for both parties, the opposition and the people in power, all because they don't like losing. Not to mention the fact these other people would have no idea of any sort of power inside the system. But dang it if they didn't have that shadow cabinet. Crazy for Table of 4, delivered. Everything will be linked in the description. Let me know what you think. See you on the next one.